Coming of a boy, not of this world, was revealed many years ago to the elder guardians. This boy, it was prophesied, would have the powers to allow good or evil to triumph and bring a final end to the dimensions. But his abilities and knowledge would need to be harnessed if good was to win, for he would bring the science of the future in his mind. And if this was applied in other dimensions, then catastrophe could follow for all. The series that's being written at the moment is a series called Frog, and it's about this young boy called Chris Casey, who unearths a suit of armour in his garden. And the suit of armour comes alive and takes Chris through a magical thing called a slipstream into a medieval dimension, another world. And when Chris gets there, he finds out he's been expected. There's a prophecy that says this boy is going to come and help them fight the forces of evil. The whole thing about being a published author and people actually wanting to buy it and read it and enjoy it is just, I suppose, a highlight of my life, really. It's quite a long journey to get your book published, particularly your first book, and you have to send your submission, basically a small sample of your work, off to an agency or a publishing company, and hope that they will read it and see something in it to want to take you on and publish your work and work with you. I had to take that journey. Every writer has to put up with rejections. Even Joanna Rowling got rejected more than a dozen times, so it shows you how fierce the competition is out there. So I had my fair share of rejections, and finally a publisher said, yeah, we'd like to take you on, and it's not just one book now, it's going to be a series of 4. Well, that was all my son Chris's fault, really, I suppose. It started off as a series of bedtime stories. So what happened was one night Chris asked me to make up a story just before he was going to bed, and this idea popped into my head, and then every Wednesday night he'd say, oh, can you keep telling me that story about that frog character? So I'd have to make something up. This went on for about a year. And that was after I'd sort of made all these stories up, and Chris kept on at me and saying, Dad, you know, you've got to write it all down, I hope you remember the things. And by the time I'd written all these notes down, I realised I had so much material that in the end it's not just developed as one book, it's developed into what's going to be a series of 4. No, not in my wildest dreams. I can remember the first time I saw it in a shop window. You know, it was sat in the window, and I sort of walked by and looked at it, and I had to go down the street and turn around and walk back, and I did it half a dozen times. You know, people must have thought it was very strange, but I never thought it'd get to that stage. You can't expect everybody to like what you do. You know, everybody's got different tastes. So I think you've got to take that on the chin. You've got to accept that you're not going to appeal to everybody. But when you do get feedback, it sort of affirms that you're on the right track. You get hooked once you realise that you've got this ability, almost this power to get these pictures out of your head and get them down into words, so that other people can take those words and put them in their head and turn them into pictures again, because that's what it's all about. It's almost like a drug. You don't want to leave it alone, because no matter what you do, you'll be sitting there and you want to get a bit of paper and start formulating an idea. No, I don't think I could stop being a writer. It's just, it is a bug. Once you've got it, you just want to keep going, even just writing for yourself. You just need to get those things out of your head. So no, I don't think I could ever walk away from it.
Can't get my mind away from thoughts of you. 2 weeks ago today, you were just the girl I drew, and now I think it's time that we decide love is our friends, and we would be fools not to follow.
So it can be an absolute nightmare, thinking, oh crikey, you know, I've got to change this around and look at it a different way. Or it can be an absolute joy, but that's the excitement of writing. That's the journey you have to take.